We also want to get to Qualcomm. That stock falling after hours despite beating estimates on the top and bottom lines with strong guidance. John spoke with the company's CEO last night in a first on CNBC interview. He joins us live this morning with that. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew. There was also a little tax-related charge that Qualcomm took. People might have paid attention to. I did speak with Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon right after the earnings call about what was driving the upside with the phone business, with consumers around the world trading up to premium phones, even though major AI features haven't launched yet. Here's what he said.
I think what you see is phones are becoming more useful. I think the AI transition on phones is not like binary, it's a crescendo. And I think that continued to drive people to say, this is a very important personal computer that is going to do more things. AI makes the ability for you on a small screen to do more things with that device. And I think that's driving that trend.
Now, Qualcomm's also announced data center chips to challenge NVIDIA, AMD, and others. Amon said the company will share more in the first half of next year, and he argues there's room for a more efficient chip in the data center.
Actually, all of those valuations expecting that all those companies building a data center, they're going to generate a lot of profit from the AI. And what it means is they're going to go from training to inference. And I think the addressable market for Qualcomm is all of it. The question is pretty simple. There is a fast cadence of new technology. You started to hear companies saying, I'm not going to use this GPU. Now I'm going to wait for the next one because every time you get more efficiency, more density, it changes the economic. So our approach is very simple. We said, we bring some unique things to the table. We're designing a whole different architecture.
And Andrew, Cristiano's not the only one thinking about trying to dislodge NVIDIA, as you were just talking about. Jensen Huang very much weighing in on the global dynamics and U.S. competitiveness and NVIDIA's competitiveness, but, you know, in his statements about China, perhaps moderating things a little bit as people digest them.
What did you make of that back and forth? It's almost really a back and forth between himself, the comments he made to the FT, and then, of course, the comments that he made online.
Well, I think part of what's happening is standards are being developed in AI globally right now. And part of it's depending on what infrastructure do you have to build on, no matter what region in the world you're in. If you've got NVIDIA right now, NVIDIA's hot, and you're building on that, and you're locking in your software development and all of that on top of that infrastructure, well, then it's going to be harder to switch later if the flavor of the month chip comes along. I think for a lot of people in the industry, the thought is, well, if there are different regions, different countries that don't have US-based technologies available, they're going to develop on something else. And maybe it's not quite as good, but maybe it's good enough for them to do some software work that makes them more efficient. And once they're locked into something else, well, then if things thaw out, maybe they don't adopt the US-based technology. Then that starts to work against the US. So I think that's some of the dynamic that Jensen's talking about there. If U.S. companies, even for good national security reasons, get locked out of certain markets, it could have long-term economic impacts. So some of the players in the industry would prefer that if there is a middle way to allow the U.S. to have their technology strategically placed in these different markets around the world, then that might be better economically in the long term.